Hello everybody. Welcome to the live. Hopefully we got the timing right. I gave it an extra 5 seconds, so hopefully we've caught up. Welcome. I hope that you're feeling good today. You can roll out your mats along while I go through the intro for today's class. So we're going to be focusing on some gentle movements today, combining it with a little bit of strength, but it's a feel-good flow session today with lots of mobility and gentle movement kind of woven in between our more strength exercises. So that's what you are tuning in for today. Then welcome, and I hope that you enjoy it. We will start in a 4-point kneeling position. So making your way into that 4-point, relaxing through the toes, we'll begin with our cat-cow. So taking a deep breath in, opening the chest, and exhale to round. Continue rippling between the two at your own pace. Good. So perhaps you want to spend a little more time in extension or in your curl. We'll take it 2 more times. And 1, we'll transition into child's pose and into full extension. Drop your hips back, stretch your arms a little bit further away, and come forward with a rounded spine, and then drop your hips to the mat and open your chest up. And then curl back again. We'll come cold spine, dive forward, lift through the chest, and transition back. As you drop your hips, just feel that the core is slightly engaged, and you're thinking of that down stretch in Pilates by pulling your chest forward and up. 2 more. And last one. On the next one, we're going to take it into our up stretch. So we'll keep our hips back on the heels, tuck your 10 toes in, lift your hips up to up stretch, or also known as downward dog. We press into the outside edge of your hands so that your shoulders relax. You're going to transition into plank position, bring your chest forward, lower your knees down, and press your hips back. That's the move. We're coming up to pike or up stretch. Forward to plank. Lower the knees and sink back. If any part of that movement doesn't feel good for you today, you can just come down to the knees and back into pike. You're starting to build up a little bit of heat here. Let's take it 3 more times. Feel your chest lift away from the ground as you come to pike. Keep that core engaged. And we have 1 more. This time, we won't bring the knees down. We'll go from our plank. We hold our plank. We hold it strong. We lengthen through our heels, our head. Lift through the chest. Deep breath in and out. Stable. Transition back to downward dog. Hold it there. And bicycle through the legs. Dropping one heel, bending the opposite knee. Pressing into the outside edges of your hands, release your neck. Good job, 1 more on each side. Neutral feet, knees down, hips back. And let's thread through the needle. Come forward to 4 points. We'll take one arm, thread it through. Allow yourself to just sink and rest and hold. Regather that breath over to the other side. We bend through that top arm to support you. A little bit of core is engaged. 1 more breath, and then we'll transition to our back. Come all the way up, over onto the back. That's it. Feet are going to be in line with your hips. Rest and push down next to the body into your hands and curl your hips up Lifting up through the back of your body, deep breath in at the top. Curl your hips back down. Using that exhale breath as you curl up and down. Pause at the top and bottom for your inhale. If you feel like you want this a little bit stronger, push into your heels a little more, pull your heels towards your shoulders, and you'll get a little sneaky glute and hamstring. Or simply just curl up and down. Gentle, big stretch. Let's take it 2 more times. Can you press into your hands, feel your chest stretch open? We'll hold it at the top for 1 more. And all the way to the top. Lifting through the back of your body, generously push into your hands. Press into your left foot. Drop your right hip a little bit. Little twist. Back to neutral. And alternate. You want to think of pulling that rib cage down towards the ground so that your waist allows that hip to dip from side to side. So generously pushing into the opposite foot really increases the stretch. We'll go 1 more on each side. And last one. Find center, deep breath in, and gently rolling it down to the mat. Brilliant. Stretch your legs away from you. Reach your arms to the ceiling. Roll-ups. Deep breath in. Half lift. Full curl to the toes. At the top, take a stretch forward. Pull the core back. Feel that stretch in your lower back. And then make your way back down. If it's feeling very challenging to do the full curl, option to do half curl back and return to the toes. Taking this one at your own pace. All of our limb lengths are different, so some of us are going to go a little quicker or slower. So finding that full stretch. I'm sliding up and down my mat here. Let's go 3. Reach it forward, core pulls back, lengthen through your head. You've got 2 more. That big exhale really helps you to lift up. And 1 more. Reach forward. We'll come all the way down. Hands down next to the side of your body. Bring one leg into tabletop. Extend and lengthen. We'll lower and lift that leg. Flex down, point up. Feel that you're reaching the leg away from you and anchoring into the bottom foot. One breath per movement. Let's go 1 more. Lift and hold, full circle. Down, around, and lift. Down, around, and lift. 3 more. You're welcome to bend your knee as an option. 1 more and we'll reverse to the top and reverse. We are out to the side and back up through the body. Well, in line with the body. That makes more sense. Lovely. 2 more. And 1. Bring that knee in towards your chest and cross it over. Big stretch. You're welcome to look over the opposite shoulder. Releasing through that hip. Bring it across, down to the mat, and over to the other side. Tabletop. Extend. Flex and lower. Point and lift. It's like your foot is like a paintbrush. And so we flex and paint the wall in front of us and then come back up. Anchoring into that bottom foot. Last one. All the way up. Press into the hands. Find your stability. Down, around, and lift. Using your core. Pull your ribcage down. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way around and reverse. We go out, around, and straight up through center. 3, and 2. 1 more, and then we'll go cross body stretch. We come to tabletop, across the body. Looking over, finding that stretch and release. We're going to keep this leg in tabletop. When we come to center, and bring your second leg in, find that weight in your tailbone and your rib cage is down. Tee the arms, hold it there. We take the one knee out to the side, just one knee. Bring it back to center and lower it, tap the mat with that same leg. We come up over to the other side, open the knee to the side, come back in. Find the mat, toe tap, and to the start. Keeping your opposite hip on the ground as you open. Keep your rib cage on the mat as you toe tap. Feel that from your head to your tailbone is stable on the mat. So move with a range that doesn't allow you to move your torso. So that might mean you don't touch the mat, and that's okay. One more to each side. Try to see if you can increase that range or maybe decrease it and see how that feels. Come back in. Toe tap, hold that toe down. Core is in. Switch the legs at the same time. Good, we're going to go 4 more rounds of toe taps. Legs closer to you is easier and further out more challenging. 3, 2. Final round. And tabletop your legs again. Squeeze your heels together, knees together. Supine twist, knees are going to rotate. And center over to the other side, rotate. And center. Keep your shoulders on the mat. Rotate from your waist. We're going to add in a little bit of fun today, so take it if it feels good for you. Rotate, hold. You're going to go all the way over to the other side by moving your feet down to the ground, little circle, and back to center. I'll go through that again. Rotate, circle your legs away from you, to the other side, and back to center. You're welcome to just stick with side to side. That's it, having a little bit of fun here. Can you feel how that kind of deepens the core work? Last one. Hand in, brilliant, hug your knees to your chest and take a lower back stretch. Good, we're gonna come back into tabletop for our core work. So legs are in that tabletop, rib cages in, reach the arms to the ceiling, and we're lifting up to 100. Hold deep breath in, lower your chest down. We'll go through that 4 more times, lifting the chest, hold for an inhale. and lower, and lift. Option to lower the feet if you prefer. 1, let's hold it, reach through the arms, pump 100. Deep breath in, and exhale. The softer the pumps, the more stable you'll feel. So if you want to challenge, you can pump a little bit harder. Inhaling for 5, exhale for 5. In through the back and out, pull that core in. Lower the head if you need. Let's go 2 more rounds. Pull those legs in a little more. And 1. Hamstring stretch. We pause, we grab behind that knee, we stretch the opposite leg down to the ground and lift a little higher. Switch the legs. And switch, pull your chest towards your thigh. Lift up through the crown. You also have the option to lower your head for this exercise. 3 more rounds. 2. 1 more round, and then we have double leg stretch. Knees to chest, hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen legs and arms away from each other. Circle, grab the legs. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, lift from the back of your body. A little bit of strength in here. 3, 2. Good job. 1 more. Bring it in. Roll yourself up to seated. Ooh, nice. A little bit of a rolling like a ball. Or we're going to do seal, but you have the option to take rolling like a ball. So for our setup, while you catch your breath, you take your one hand, you thread it through and you're grabbing onto the outside of your leg. Your weight is slightly back in your tailbone. Catch your second leg up. Let's see if you can, and hold it there. Option to take rolling like a ball, where you're holding onto your shins. Open through the chest. Round your lower back. Start to look down at the mat. Roll back. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale back. Exhale up. Roll just to the tips of your shoulder blades. So keep your chin tucked in so that you don't fall back on your head or roll back on your head. Three more. Big exhale to help you to the top. And 1. Whoop. We'll stay at the top for seated. Let go of your feet. Well done if you explored that movement today. Let's stretch through the legs. Sitting tall, soften your knees if you need. We want that straight back. Arms are reaching forward. Spine stretch, chin to chest. Curl forward down to the heels. Lengthen through your spine. And rock and roll back to seated. Exhale, let's go forward. Inhale, roll it back up. Feel that you're lengthening your arms from the back of your body so that your shoulders are relaxed. Your neck is long. Soften your knees if you need. Last one. At the top, keep those arms in line with your chest. One hand comes to chest. We twist and open. Reach around and come back to center. Little twist, reach back and around. Now, if you find that you're falling here, you're going to soften your knees, which is going to give you more space to twist. And 2. Let's hold this last one open. Give yourself a bit more of a twist to get your pinky finger towards your pinky toe, and you're going to go forward and back up. and forward and back up to a single saw. Thinking of hinging in your hip and your core is pulling back and you're stretching to the foot. 2 more. That's it. And 1. All the way back up to center and switch sides. Hand to chest, open and back around. I'm going to shimmy away from my wall just a little. You can continue twisting. Put my mat too close. And around. 1 more, and then we're going to hold that twist open. Twist yourself a little bit more, soften your knees if you need that, and then you're going down towards your toes and back up. You're thinking of lengthening through your head, long spine, hinge at your hip. 3. And 1 more. Release to center. Let's make our way up into high kneeling. Nice little hip kick there. So take a moment there, find your high kneeling position. Foot is on the floor. Reach it out. Let's take a little side stretch, reach up and over, and back up. So you're just giving that hip a little stretch and release. Good. 1 more. And bring it in. Bring this leg in and over to the other side. So in a moment, we are going to explore some side kneeling work. So if you'd like to place a cushion or a towel under your knees, you can do that now. Or you can fold your mat as an option. Let's go 1 more side stretch. And bring it in. All right. Bring the knees underneath the hips. Weight is in the shins. And we have our toes untucked. So we're pushing down into the top of the foot. Arms to T. You start to lean over to the side. Then you're pushing into that foot to lift your knee, find the weight, extend the leg. Bring the leg in and come back up. Over to the other side. We start to tip the weight over. You're reaching to the ceiling, pressing into your opposite foot so your knee can come away from the ground and then extend. And we come in. And so now you can just take this at your own pace. Keep that weight on your opposite foot when your knee leaves the ground. You're working with that core control and your balance, stretching, lifting. Good. So we're just exploring this, and if you can't get the legs straight, that's okay. Sometimes it's fun to just explore new movements. All right, 1 more. And in. Last one. And in. We're going to hold this next one. Come all the way across and over. Stretch your leg and bring your foot to the ground. Weight is in the foot. Weight is in your hands. You want to slightly curl the core in, so you don't want to push your hips too far forward. You want to think of pulling your core backwards. From here, we're going to lift that leg away from the mat and lower back down. Don't worry about the height of your leg. Even if you're lifting a little bit, that's cool. You just want to start to feel how you can balance on your hand, your bottom shin. 2 more. Stretch that leg away, and 1. Nice work. Bring it in. Transition your weight over to that foot, lifting all the way up. Hands behind your head. Elbows point forward, armpits point forward, core pulls back. Little side stretch. leaning over, come back up. Deep breath in and lift. Pressing into the foot of your long leg. Feel that hip stretching open. Option to stay with the side stretch or adding on. You pause, you open, close, lift back up, a little more challenging. Side stretch, open, close, and lift. So we're strengthening through the oblique, stretching through the chest, front and back. 2 more. Try keep your body in space. And 1. Let's take it into a full side stretch. Bring your hand down to the ground and stretch it out. That's it. Lifting all the way up. Well done. Let's take it to the other side. Let's take the foot down to the mat already to get set up. Arms out to T. Weight is in that bottom shin. We find the mat. You're pressing your hip away from you and then getting your hand down to the ground. Bring your weight over to your hand by lifting your heel, and your weight is just in your big toe. Lift the leg and lower. You want to make sure that your palm is slightly away from your shoulder and that you're not leaning your shoulder past the wrist. We're going to go 4 more, lifting it within your own range. Softening through your bottom elbow. And 1. Push your foot into the ground, transition your weight over to your bottom leg, and bring yourself up. Hands behind your head, elbows forward. Pull your rib cage back, pull the body weight into your bottom shin, very important. And then start to lean over, find your range, and bring yourself back up. Up and over. You're thinking of reaching your head to that wall next to you. That's it. Pressing into your bottom foot. Adding on as an option. Hold your side position. Open your arms. Close and lift. When you open those arms, you're trying to keep your body in space. Two more. Deep breath in and out. In and lift. One more. And up. Let's stretch it out all the way over. Find the weight in the hand. Pressing into your bottom foot. Really feel that side stretch. And bring it all the way up and over to the other side. And bring it in. We'll come over into prone position. And we'll come into our cool down. So prone is face down on the mat. Hands on down next to the side of your body and just above the shoulders. Head in line with your tailbone. Core lifts. Inhale, lift the chest. Gaze forward, crown to ceiling. And slowly control yourself back down to the mat. Deep breath in. Stretching through the core and the obliques. Strengthening through the muscles of the back. Feel like you can pull your hands towards your hips. We're going to take it 2 more times and then we're going to add on. 1 more. Hold it at the top. Feel that your shoulders are drawing down your back, pressing into your pinky fingers. As you lower your chest, lift your legs. So as your chest comes down, find the tipping point to float your feet off the ground. Feet come back down, lift through the chest. And lower the chest, lift the feet. Core is slightly engaged and you're kind of tipping back and forth along the pelvis and the hip bones. You have the option to stay with the slow version if this feels good, or you're going to release your hands and rock forward. And press into your hands to lift. Rock forward and lift. So you're basically just taking that slow version and getting it nice and dynamic. Little stretch, little strengthen. 5, 3. One more. Hold it at the top and gently release it down. Let's tuck into those 10 toes. Press your hips back. Drop into your heels. Take a moment there. Let's bring it forward to 4-point kneeling. And take your one leg, cross it behind your knee. And just gently drop down to your elbows. Stretching along that back body. Switch it over to the other side. Just taking a moment here to regather the breath. Feel the stretch along the waist, the oblique. All the way back up. We'll finish it off in our cat-cow position as we started. Open through the chest, deep breath in. And exhale to round. Use this as a moment to check in with your body from the start of class. Increasing the length of that exhale. Two more. And last one. Drop your hips back, just take a moment, stretch there, and then roll yourself back up. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me for today's session. Hopefully you found that space between a little bit of stretch and a little bit of strengthen, and it felt good in your body today and you had options to choose from. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time here, welcome. I would love to chat with you. We do a Q&A session at the end. So stay, ask your questions on anything you'd like some more information on. You can subscribe and share this with your friends so that they can come and have feel-good workouts with all of us on a Monday. And for everyone else that is still here, we will have a chat. For everyone else, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next Monday. All right, let's have a check-in. How are we feeling? Hello, Paul Davies. Welcome from Canada. So lovely to have you here. Charlene from South Africa. Hello. My regulars, Lucy from Windsor. Very good as always. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that that felt good in your body too. It's getting really hot here. Feeling a little bit more fatigued. I was like, we want to have a nice feel-good movement. A little bit of stretch, a little bit of strengthen. So I'm so glad that felt good in your body. Hi, Charles. Wonderful session. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Hope you're feeling good in the shoulders today and that you were able to modify some of those movements. Hot there too. Yeah, it's getting so hot at the moment. I don't know how you're feeling, if you're also feeling that with that increase of like the heat. It's a little bit of fatigue. Kind of got to get used to it. Hope you have some ways to stay cool there. Just going to grab a sip of water. I don't know if there's any questions for today. So you can let me know. I think the only thing that we did today that was quite new was the seal, the one where you've like wrapped your arms around. So curious to know how that actually felt, if anyone tried it, and if you have any questions. John started the session, but he had to leave his van. Okay, well, I hope the van is good, and I'm glad that he did join the session. It will be up on replay straight after the session today, so he was welcome to come and join when he's back. That was fun. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That's what we want. We want Monday sessions to be fun, a little bit of mix, just as a nice way to start the week. So I'm so glad that that was fun. I'm going to just stay for a few more minutes. Welcome, Paul. It's so lovely to have you here. I see that you're new, so if you have any questions or any feedback or anything you'd like to know, I'd love to hear from you. But if you're gone, thank you for joining. Yes, the live stream does make accountability so much better. And it's also fun to be able to connect with everybody versus just coming to the weekly uploads. So I also enjoy it. And I think it'll be nice for us to have like an external place where sometimes we can also meet and chat. So I'm working on coming up with something like that. So if anybody knows where we can connect, and if you'd like to connect afterwards, where we can actually see each other's faces and we can chat and connect, maybe like once a month, let me know. I'd love to do that. We used to do that on Google Meets. So I think it'll be a fun way to kind of go from YouTube. We have our weekly live classes here, and then we meet up somewhere online as well. Your shoulder's improving all the time. That's amazing. Our one-on-one sessions last week helped a lot. I'm so happy to hear that. That's what the one-on-one sessions are there for. So I'm so glad that that was helpful and that you can start to rebuild your strength after your surgery. You're doing so amazing. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud. Hi, Saman. Poor John, a bad week for automobiles. That is very true. We're sending him love. Hopefully he can come and have some feel-good movement and feel better. How are we feeling, Simone? So good to have you here and see you here. I'm going to give it like 2 more minutes. So any last minute questions, any last minute things. So 10 past, and then I will have this up for anyone else who wants to do it after class. Curious, did anyone try the seal, the one where you took your hands through the outside of the legs, and how that felt? It's very hot there too. Okay, so I was top of mind. I was like, it must be hot everywhere at the moment, like except for South Africa, but all the way up north, it's hot. But good to get in some movement. I'm so proud of you. Showing up when it's hot and moving and exercising is not a vibe because of sweaty. So hopefully, yeah, we didn't get too sweaty today and that it felt good. I'm so proud of you for coming to join us on a hot day. Yes, I did it and it felt fun. I'm so glad. I enjoyed the seal as well. Nice variety. So I'm glad you enjoyed it too. All right. Okay. So thank you so much for everybody for joining. Have a good evening and a fantastic week. There'll be new classes on Wednesday and on Saturday, and there are tutorials as well. So you can go check out the weekly Sunday tutorials for things like wrists, how to do chest lift, how to do the pelvic curl. So have a look at that if you need any tips on some of the exercises that we do that you're trying to refine on, that you're trying to get stronger in. Have a wonderful week. I will see you next Monday. Bye.